Sitting up tall, place your hands on your lap and close your eyes. Just take a moment, draw your awareness inward. Notice the sound and feeling of your breath, your heartbeat. Notice the sensation in your arms and your legs. Notice if there's any place that feels particularly open or receptive this moment. Maybe it's your hips, neck, shoulders. Any place that feels maybe particularly withdrawn or tight, resistant. Could be knees, ankles, anywhere really. Just taking a moment, creating awareness of how we enter this space, how we enter our practice. Yoga is a lot of things. It's a lot of different ways to feel and to be in this practice. It means something different to all of us almost. But one of the great things that yoga is an awareness exercise. In fact, it's maybe considered one of its chief objectives is to expand or increase our awareness or consciousness. We use this practice of yoga to expand what we think is capable, what we think we're capable of, to expand what's possible, what's possible for us to experience or to realize, to do. And we use all of that to help expand our awareness or consciousness. The more connected we are to consciousness, the easier it is to create bliss, to create knowledge, to take action. Everything that we're capable of in this universe becomes easier with consciousness as the starting point. So let's work today in our practice to cultivate awareness. Doesn't mean we have to create change or doesn't mean we have to achieve any specific goal or pose or outcome. Simply being present and being aware is the practice. Bring your hands together at your heart. Slowly begin to exhale your breath all the way out. Just take a slow breath in through your nostrils. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Inhale, stretch your arms up over your head. Bring your hands to your heart, exhale, side out, let it go. One more, just like that. Inhale, stretch your arms up over your head. Hands to your heart, exhale, let it go. Together, we'll Om one time. In through your nose. Please keep your lips sealed and begin breathing through just your nostrils now. In through your nose and out through your nose, please. A few moments ago, we were being asked to sigh out through the mouth. We're going to create a similar action, only with the lips sealed. So now when we breathe, the breath will filter out through just the nostrils, hoping to engage that sound element in the breath. Let's do it together. Breathe in through your nose. And just as if you were going to sigh, keep the lips sealed, breathe out through your nose. Should be a pretty audible sound, like a loud whisper or the distant sound of the ocean. One more time, in through your nose. Lips are sealed, out through the nose. Unclench your jaw and keep that ujjayi breath flowing We're going to open our eyes and come onto our hands and knees, please. So this rhythmic, audible breath is called Ujjayi breath. It means it's a heated breathing practice. It means victorious breath. Let's take another round of it before we start moving. In through your nose, please. Without clenching your jaw, keeping the lips sealed, out through your nose. What we'll start to realize is the connection between our breath and our movement. So this is one way we start to expand our awareness. We are aware of how deeply connected our breath and our movement are. And in the practice of yoga, breath is energy, it's life force, it's the vitality of the universe that lives within ourselves. And that is what fuels our movement. Inhale through your nose, push down through your hands, lift into your chest, and look up towards the ceiling. Or turn your nose up to the ceiling. If you can, turn your chin up towards the ceiling. Lengthening through the front body. Exhale through your nose. Please bring your chin into your chest. Press down through your hands, round into your spine. Notice what's happening in your low back, hips, and pelvis. Can you scoop your tailbone under too? Inhale, back to cow pose now. Inner thighs spin back, navel drops down, nose to the sky, press through your hands. Exhale, cat pose, chin to your chest, press through your hands, round through your back, your tailbone, scoop it under. Inhale, cow pose, inner thighs spinning back, belly dropping down, chest is lifted, press through your hands. Exhale, cat pose, chin to your chest, round through your back, hollow out your belly. Let's do one more round, in through your nose, cow pose, inner thighs spin back, belly button drops down, chest is lifted. Exhale through the nose, cat pose, chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone, and hollow out the belly. Come back to a nice flat back position, please. Back into a tabletop pose. You're going to reach your left arm out towards your left. Stretch out through your fingertips. Thread your left arm underneath your right arm and land all the way down onto the back of your left shoulder. Walk your right fingertips forward towards the top of the mat. And just stretch out through your left fingertips. Stretch out through your right fingertips. Roll your right shoulder back, please. It's going to almost feel as though you're rolling onto your back, but your knees will keep you pretty firmly in place. Once again, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose, continuing to create that audible sensation in the breath. You should hear the sound of the breath. Inhale, bring your right hand back down in front of your face. So the right hand will come right basically in front of the nose, under the shoulder. Press to your right hand and inhale, sweep your left arm all the way back up to the sky. Reach up, try to touch the ceiling. Place your left hand down on the ground, please. Opposite side, second side. Reach your right arm out to the right, breathe in. Spread your right arm underneath you, come to land on the back of your right shoulder, please exhale. Reach through your right fingertips, walk your left hand to the top of the mat, reach through your left fingertips. Use the left fingers to help kind of give you a little bit of rotation back, a little torque to your rotation. Knees are down, hips over the knees, reach to your right hand, and start to roll back through your left shoulder, your left ribs. It might feel as though you're about to roll over onto your back, but your knees are keeping you pretty firmly anchored to the ground. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. You can notice that in these twisted shapes, having the fuller breath becomes just a little bit more challenging. It's a great invitation to build more awareness, more consciousness. We have to breathe more intentionally, more purposefully, more powerfully. Place your left hand back down in front of the face, please. Press down through your left hand. Take your right arm all the way up to the sky. Reach up, try to touch the ceiling with your right fingertips, please. Place your right hand down onto the ground. Take your knees as wide as the mat. Bring your toes to touch. Child's pose. Let's just take a reminder of what this pose feels like. Move your hips to your heels. Stretch your arms out in front of you. Knees nice and wide so that your ribs fall inside the thighs. I think, Jenny, if you can, take your knees wider and then move your hips back more. There you go. Keep moving hips back and further and further back. So this is a great resting pose for us. If we feel the urge to set a pose out, we need a moment to check in with our breath, to reset the intention, any reason at all, really. This is a great place to find yourself, child's pose. Take a few breaths here, working your ribs a little bit deeper inside of your inner thighs if you can. Press through your hands, make it slightly more active. Push your hips back. Breathing in through your nose, out through your nose. When you're ready, come back up onto your hands and knees. Let's take it back to downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back, please. Spread your fingers wide. Press down through your hands. Really active, really firm pressing down through the hands. Strong connection to the earth. Think about how your hands press down. So bring your awareness to the inner edges of your hands, the pointer finger knuckle, the inner edge of your wrist. Press firmly down through the pointer finger knuckle and the inner edge of your wrist. Keep doing that. Now press to the outer edge of your hand, the pinky finger knuckle and the outer edge of the wrist. So we'll call these points the four corners of the hand, and we'll use them to help create more stability whenever we're on our hands. Pressing now through the four corners of the hand as you continue to breathe. Inner edge of the hand presses down. Outer edge of the hand presses down. Don't lose that. Hug your forearms in, squeeze your forearms towards each other energetically. It should feel like you're trying to squeeze something between your arms. We want to create external rotation in our shoulders. So spin your biceps up to the ceiling. Feels as though you're wrapping your back of your arms down towards the ground. There's a lot of action happening in the arm now. External shoulder rotation. Hug the forearms in, spin the biceps up, press to your hands. One more breath here. We'll revisit these actions as we go. Keep your hips up high, walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. Just walking nice and slow, a couple of small steps to get there. Forward fold at the top of the mat, please. Once you're there, grab your elbows. So right hand grabs the left elbow, left hand grabs the right elbow. Take a moment or two, breathing in through the nose, out through the nose. You can play around with bending one leg at a time and extending the opposite leg. So for me, I'm bending my right knee, straightening my left leg, kind of going back and forth between those two sides, left knee bending, right leg extending. It's a really nice way to stretch into the hamstrings, hips, and the glutes. Breathing through the nose. Release the elbows. Bend both of your knees so that your stomach and thighs are touching. Push down into your feet. Slowly roll your way up to standing. Press down into the feet and roll yourself up, rounding through your spine. Should take a little bit. Sweep the arms up at the top, please. Big breath in. Reach up to your fingertips. Grab a hold of your right forearm, right wrist. Side bend over to your left side. Do me a favor, friends. Push down into your feet as if you were pushing the ground away from you. Squeeze your glutes and draw your navel in. Now stretch and breathe. All that action is working to keep your core engaged and not let the low back hold the weight of this pose. Pick it up, grab your left wrist. Once again, press to your feet, squeeze your glutes, draw your navel in, stretch out to your right side. Keep the belly pulled in, keep the glutes active. If you're feeling this in your low back, You're going to want to draw in more so that the side body, the sides of the body are extending. It's a lateral extension. Inhale, come back up, please. Lower your hands down by your side. Turn your palms to face forward. Lift your shoulders up to your ears. Shoulders go up towards your ears. Arms are still right by your side. It's just the shoulders that are lifting. Shoulders up towards your ears, arms by your side. Shoulders pull back towards the back of your mat. You move your shoulders now behind your ears. Slide your shoulders down towards your back pockets. And breathe. Can you do all of that now without moving your ribs and your hips? So let's slide the shoulders, roll the shoulders forward towards the front of the body. Lift your shoulders up towards your ears. Belly in, glutes engaged. Try not to push your ribs forward. Just move the shoulders. Move the shoulders straight back, keeping the ribs in, keeping the belly in. Sliding the shoulders down towards your back pockets. Great. See if you can keep the shoulders there. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Even as the arms come up, the shoulders are going to work their way to stay down and back. So we're not thrusting the shoulders up into the ears, but instead keeping the shoulders down the back. Reach up through your fingertips, reach back a little bit, chest lifted, arms back. Exhale, forward fold, all the way down. You can bend your knees a little bit to fold. Makes it a lot gentler for your low back. Place your hands on your shins. Inhale, lift up halfway. You're pushing your hands into your shins to extend your spine forward. Good, Pasquale. Then drop your chin a little bit so you're not pulling your chin forward, but instead leaning forward into your chest. Stretch your heart forward. Exhale, place the hands down on the ground. This part can be tricky. Please place your hands down so that your hands line up with your feet. You want your hands right next to your feet rather than in front of your feet. Hands right next to your feet instead of in front of your feet. You may have to bend your knees a little bit to get there, and that's great. So with your hands down right next to your feet, please step your right foot way back behind you. Hands next to you instead of in front of you. What this is going to do is set us up so that our knee and ankle are nice and aligned. We're in a more stable, secure position. Rock forward, lower your right knee down to the ground, please. Sweep the arms forward and up to the sky. Interlace your fingers, press the palms up to the ceiling, extend out to the arms. All right, let's work to make our legs just a little bit more active. Flex your thigh muscles, so you're squeezing your quadriceps. Feels almost like you're hugging your skin to your muscles to your bone. Do the same thing in your glutes. Squeeze your glutes a little bit. Without letting that action go, deepen your lunge by pressing down into your feet, stretching out through your legs, and lifting up into your chest, pressing back to your palms. Inhale. Exhale, release the hands down to the ground. See if you can frame your left foot again, straighten your left leg, flex your toes. And as best you can, you're keeping the hands out in front of you, working on creating a little bit more length in the side of the body. Right? It's okay if your knee isn't totally straight locked out. A little bit of a bend is fine. We can work on creating more awareness, just like our theme of practice. It's not a specific shape that we desire, a specific end place, but an expansion of our awareness. Tone your thighs, thigh muscles flex. Press your left heel down into the ground and energetically drag it backwards. Feels like you're trying to drag the front of your mat towards the back of your mat, but you're not. You're leaving it where it is. From there, please press out to your left foot and fold in a little bit deeper. Bring your nose to your knee. Inhale, rock forward and lunge. Let's take it back to downward facing dog, please. Press to your hands, lift your hips up, step your left foot back, downward facing dog. And you can take as many steps as you need to get there. Re-engage the four corners of your hands, inner edges, outer edges of the hands pressing down. Re-engage the action in your arms and shoulders. Hug your forearms in, spin your biceps up. Targeting today just a little bit of extra shoulder awareness. Rock forward to our plank pose. Top of a push-up position, shoulders just over the wrist, legs really strong and active. Keep hugging the forearms in. spinning your biceps forward, creating what's called external shoulder rotation. Good. Pasquale, lift your hips up a lot more. Hips to the height of your shoulders. Yeah, that's it. Good, Courtney. Big breath in, everyone. Lean forward to your tiptoes. Exhale, lower all the way down to the stomach, please. Press your feet down, point your toes. Cobra pose. Pin the elbows back. Pull your chest forward. Try to get longer here. Spin your pinky toenails down to the ground so that you're really working on expanding through the low back. Yes, really good adjustments, everyone. Cobra pose, inhale. Pasquale, walk your hands back more, hands next to your ribs. There you go. And press your feet down now a lot. Feet press down. Good. Inhale, pull your chest forward. Don't worry about getting higher off the ground. Just get longer. See if you can pull your chest forward, stretch your feet back, and press the feet down. One more, inhale. Exhale, lower back down to the ground. Press back, downward facing dog. Take your time. Take as many steps as you need to get there. Press to the four corners of your hand. Hug your forearms in. Spin your biceps up. We're going to keep working on this external rotation. Walk your feet forward, please. Come all the way to the top of the mat. Bend your knees, bring your chin to your chest. Roll your way up to standing. Push down through your feet. Keep the arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands together at your heart. Inhale, reach the arms up. Try not to thrust the shoulders up. When you move the shoulders down and back and just reach out to the fingertips. It's kind of nice. We're separating the movement and action of shoulder lifting from arm lifting. And that is one way we can continue to build more awareness to our practice. Drop your shoulders, reach to your fingertips, inhale. Exhale, unlock your knees as you fold all the way down, forward fold. Hands to shins, inhale, lift up halfway. Try turning your nose down to the ground so the back of your neck is really long. Very good. Exhale, once again, frame your feet, place your hands right next to your feet. Framing the feet, step your left foot way back. And what this does is it sets us up for a more stable and secure alignment. Please lower your left knee down to the ground. Nice, Shinny. Take the arms forward and up, Anjaneyasana. This is called Anjaneyasana. It's a kneeling lunge. And then Pasquale, get a much longer stance. Yeah. Interlace your fingers, press the palms up. Also, Pasquale, make sure your back foot is not turned in. It's kind of that back foot, straighten it out. Yeah, there you go. Press up through your palms, start to stretch back. We always want to secure our foundation, making our pose as stable as we can. This is how we can then build upon it, how we can then expand our awareness or consciousness with a stable foundation first. Tone your thighs. All right, this time we're gonna work on scissoring our thighs together. Feels like you're drawing your thighs into your hips, like you're trying to drag your right heel back and your left knee forward. That action, it should be subtle. I know it's really tempting to make it really strong. Really subtly scissor thighs together. Now don't lose that. Press through your feet. Lift through your chest, reach back, press through your palms. Nice big stretch here. Release the hands down. Please reframe the right foot. Hands on either side of the right foot. Straighten your right leg, flex your toes. This is called Ardha Hanumanasana. So the right foot is actually still out in front of us. Right leg is extended. There you go. Ardha Hanumanasana, or half splits. Flex your toes, flex your thighs. Work to make the foundation active. Scissor thighs towards hips. Press out through your feet and fold in. These actions are subtle, but what they do is they help to build more awareness of the action that we're taking, of the pose that we're engaging. We're not simply waiting for the stretch to happen as a result of the shape of the body. We're creating the pose and the stretch with intention and action. Tone your thighs, scissor thighs towards hips. Press out through the feet and fold in. Hopefully we can feel the difference, helping to create more awareness through action. Inhale, rock forward. Place the hands down and let's take it back again to our downward facing dog. Press your hands, step your right foot back, Take as many movements as you need to get there. These next combination of movements are called just a vinyasa. So if you ever take a class and like, oh yeah, do a vinyasa, these next movements equal one vinyasa. Rock forward, plank pose. Press through the four corners of the hands. Hug the forearms in. Rotate the shoulders back. Nice. Really good planks, everyone. Lower all the way down to your stomach, please. Point your toes. Press into the pinky toenail. Pull forward, cobra pose. Make sure your hands aren't in front of your shoulders, but back by your ribs. Nice, Pasquale. Good, Courtney. Shoulders back, chest forward. Get longer. Legs are active. Exhale. Take it back, downward facing dog. Nice job, my friends. Lift up to your tiptoes, please, and walk your feet forward to the top of the mat. Bend your knees, please. Roll yourself up to standing. Once you get to the top of the mat, you're going to step your right foot back behind you. Then turn into a wide-legged stance. Turn towards your right into a wide-legged standing position. Open your arms out nice and wide to a T as if you're about to give someone a big hug. Now interlace your hands behind your back, please. Palms squeeze together so that your four corners of the hands are connected. Stretch back through your knuckles, lift into your chest, breathe in. Exhale. This is a fun movement, fold forward here. Press down through your feet, keep your legs strong and active as you fold in. It's okay to bend your knees a little bit. Work on opening your shoulders, so lifting your hands off of your back body and stretching your legs. Breathing deeply here. There's always a way to be more intentional and active in any pose we take, so let's explore it here. Tone your thighs. You can feel your quadriceps flex, maybe your glutes engage a little bit. Spin your inner thighs back, broaden your hips. Keep those actions going as you press down into your feet and fold in just a little bit deeper. Keep opening up the shoulders. It's going to start to feel a little bit, let's call it exciting about now. Nice, Jenny. Breathe for 3. Good, Courtney. Stretch through the knuckles. Open up your shoulders. 2. We're going to bring our hands down to our low back, please. Slide your hands down your legs. Place the hands on the ground. Inhale, lift up halfway or so. Come up to your fingertips. Very nice work. Let's turn our right toes towards the back of your mat. Right toes point towards the back of your mat. Right toes at the back of the mat. Bring your right forearm, your right elbow to your right thigh. You can stay just like this, or make this into what's called the side angle pose. Sweeping your left arm over your head, cross your left ear. So you're probably facing the back of your mat at this point, which is okay. Right toes point towards the back of the mat. Left arm extends out away from the left shoulder. Breathe deeply here. Side angle pose, Parsvakonasana. Should feel pretty powerful and strong in your legs in this position. Run through the actions of engagement we've worked on so far. Tone your thighs. Draw thighs to hips, scissor thighs together. From the center of your hips, press out through your feet and lunge a little bit deeper. One more breath. Lean back a little bit. Roll your left shoulder back. And let's place the hands back down on the ground. Turn back to your left. Same thing, other side. Left toes point now towards the top of the mat. Turn your left toes in. Right toes turn in as well, pointing the right toes slightly forward. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh. And now sweep your right arm all the way out towards the top of the mat. That's it. Good, Pasquale. Jenny, turn your left toes forward even more. Yeah, that's it. Now make your back leg really strong. Everybody, tone your thighs, quadriceps flex. Scissor thighs to hips, draw in. From that sense of drawing in, that sense of awareness, Let's expand, press out through your feet, lunge deeper, expanding that awareness. Beautiful poses. Can you reach your arm over your head? Everybody reach forward. Good, keep reaching forward, Pascal, you got it. Yeah, that feel better. Right side gets really long. One more breath. Place both hands down onto the ground, right next to your left foot. Step your right foot to the outside of your right hand. We're coming down into a squat. Heels in, toes out, squat low. Breathe in through your nose, out through your nose. Very good. So our last little strength pose action, we're going to take 2 rounds of side plank pose, or 1 round of side plank pose each side. Place your hands down, lift your hips up, step back to plank pose, please, the top of a push-up. First, going to the left side. You'll separate your feet about hip distance apart. Both of your heels will drop over to your left. Great, you might choose to stay right here. If you want to bring your left knee down for support, you can. Try to keep the hips up. Open your right arm up to the sky, side plank pose. So that external shoulder rotation we've been talking about will really be helpful here. Press into the 4 corners of your left hand. Spin your left bicep forward, roll your left shoulder back. Roll your right rib cage back. Reach your right arm straight up to the ceiling. Instead of reaching your arm back, reach it straight up to the sky. Good, both heels down, Pasquale, so drop those heels. On the back foot, heels down. Ready, reach your right arm forward. Place your right hand down. We'll do the same thing going the other way. Pause for a moment, plank pose. Hips up, core engaged. It's going to be just a little bit of a challenge. Spin both heels over to your right side, please. Open your left arm up to the sky, or if you want to keep your left hand down, that's fine too. You can also bring your right knee down. Just press into the 4 corners of your right hand, inner edges, outer edges of the hand. Spin your right bicep forward, roll your right shoulder down your back. Lift up, reach to your left fingertips, lift your hips a little bit. Good, Courtney. One more breath. Building strength in your arms, your shoulders, your chest. Circle your left arm forward. Place your left hand down. And lower your knees to the ground, please. Child's pose. Knees wide, toes together, hips back. All right. Nice job. In through your nose, out through your nose. Okay, let's come back up onto our hands and knees for a moment. Stretch your right leg back behind you, please. Right leg lifts up and stretches back. You can stay right here. I like to always make sure we do just a little bit of focused core work. Reach your left arm forward if you can. So this is really great for balance and core. Stretch out through your right leg, stretch forward through your left leg. Stay here, optional, good, Courtney. Or if you want, you can do these little pulses. We'll bring the left elbow and right knee to tap underneath you. And you're just gonna round in and squeeze elbow to knee. Inhale and extend. Use your breath to create the movement. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale and extend. That's it. One more time. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale and extend. Very good. Lower your left hand down to the ground. Lower your right knee down to the ground. Take it slow. Stretch your left leg back behind you. Lift it up. Hold it. Breathe. Notice where you're feeling this. If you're feeling it in your low back, please engage your core more. Draw your navel in. Squeeze your glutes. Right arm reaches forward. You might prefer to just hold the balance, or you can take the contraction right elbow to left knee. Come in and squeeze and tap. All right, everyone. Really good. Inhale and extend. Draw your belly in. Squeeze the glutes. Exhale, squeeze and round in. Inhale and extend. Belly in, glutes engaged. Last time, exhale, tap elbow to knee. Very good. Inhale, open it up. Pause, hold it. Place your right hand down, keep your leg up. Belly in, glutes engaged. Lower your left knee down to the ground. All right, come all the way down onto your stomach, please. Let's get one last good stretch for our shoulders here. Open your arms out nice and wide to a T shape, as if you're about to give the ground a big hug. You're gonna roll over to your left side and step your right foot to the ground behind you. With your right hand, go ahead and reach back. If you want to make this a little bit deeper, you can grab a hold of your right foot with your right hand. It's actually going to make it a lot deeper, but it's your choice. It's going to give you a chance to stretch your shoulders a lot more. Please roll your right shoulder back so the shoulder isn't falling forward towards your chin. Right shoulder rolls onto the back of the body. Couple of breaths here, please. Slowly unwind, come back onto your stomach. Reach your right arm out to the right, please. Same thing as the first side. Roll over to your right. Reach back with step your left foot back. With your left hand, reach back and grab your left foot, optional. Grab the top of your left foot. So, Pascal, grab the other side of your foot. Yeah, there you go. Now roll your left shoulder back more. Good, and let your neck relax. Head comes down to the ground. Find a little more softness there. Kick the foot into the hand lightly. Take your thigh back and lower your thigh down. You want your knees inside the width of your hips. So make sure that top knee isn't pointing up, but staying inside the width of the hip. It might mean a few things. It might mean you're not kicking back as far, rolling back as much, and that's okay. Stay within the parameters of the pose to keep it safe and stable. Make sure we're building the shape the right way. Our goal isn't to force an end range of motion, but to increase our awareness, expand our consciousness. Simply put, to see what we thought was possible, maybe revisit those definitions. Doesn't mean we have to create instant change, but we're willing to accept that it's possible. That's what it means to expand our awareness in yoga. Not being limited. Slowly release. Come on to your stomach. Open and willing. Let's take one more fun little back bend. Sphinx pose. Come up onto your forearms, please. More and more, I love this as a back bend. It's such a great way to stretch fascia on the front line of the body, and it's a really nice back bend for opening up the thoracic spine. So forearms pressing down onto the ground. Push down to your forearms and lift your chest up away from you. Make your legs active. Stretch your toes back and press the tops of your feet down. There you go. Pull forward into your chest. Lift up into your chest. Breathe. A few of us have our hands together now. Let's say to separate the hands about shoulder width apart and push down into the ground with the hands. Use that action to lift your chest up even more. Maybe draw your navel in. It's gonna feel like you're pulling your hips forward towards your thumbs. That's where a lot of the back bend's coming in. Chest is lifted, feet pressed down, deep breaths, please. You should feel an active sense of engagement here. Pulling forward through your chest, stretching back through your toes. Pulling forward through your hips, pulling in through your belly. One more breath. Inhale, lift to the crown of your head. And exhale, lower down, all the way onto your stomach. Very nice job. Press back up onto your hands and knees, please. Let's come into downward facing dog. Pigeon pose on the left side. You're gonna slide your left shin forward, and right leg back. Now it's possible that this is a very intense shape, so if you wanna lie on your back and make a more subtle variation of this pose, you can. If you're on your back, you're going to cross your left ankle over your right thigh. That's it. And thread your left hand through your legs to grab your right leg with both hands. Wherever you are, don't wait for the stretch to happen. Create the stretch with intention. Tone your thighs, scissor thighs together. Stretch out through your legs, stretch forward through your chest. Breathe. Really good, Courtney. Good, Jenny, breathe. Looks like, Pasquale, do me a favor and just walk yourself over to your right just a little bit instead of going over towards your left. Yeah, there you go. How's that feel? Doesn't have to be parallel, no. No. Yeah, you want to find a point where it doesn't hurt, but you're still getting a good stretch. It's a really good point. So how far forward should that bottom shin be? It's a personal choice, but the shin is far enough forward where you are feeling the stretch in your outer left hip and glute, but not in pain. Pain is a good indication we've gone too far. Maybe a little bit of discomfort, a good place for us to work on expanding our awareness. We find that over time, what was uncomfortable becomes durable, maybe even starts to feel good because we start to open up into that shape. Pain is a good measure of going too far. Another breath or two here. We're gonna come back to downward facing dog, my friends. Tuck your back toes. If you're on your back, you can just switch legs. It's fine. So you can just switch legs. And then from down dog, if you're there, right shin forward, pigeon pose right side. Good, everyone. As a rule of thumb for this pose, we generally want the right knee set up wider than the right hip. Looks like we're all there now, but just a reminder for the future. And we want to also be slightly engaged here. So it's not just a forced stretch or dropping of our weight into the shape. There's a sense of action and stability being created. Tone your thighs. Scissor thighs together, draw thighs to hips. It's a subtle action. Keep doing that as you expand from your hips, stretch through your legs, stretch through your heart. Get a little bit lower, take up a little more space. Broaden your hips, broaden your back. Get longer, breathe deeper. Looking good. know it's really tempting to just push into an end range of motion. Try to maintain that sense of action, integrity. Breathe. Walk your hands back in. We're all going to meet in a seated position. Please, legs stretched out in front of you. Shake out your legs, please. Inhale, take your arms up to the sky. Reach up to your fingertips. Exhale, forward fold. Bring your nose towards your knees. You can have your knees a little bit bent here. What I'd like you to make sure you're doing is not letting your toes roll apart. So bring your big toes, maybe almost to touching, maybe touching. This is going to encourage your thighs to spiral down. It's going to keep your low back and outer hips broadened, wide. This gives us a lot more freedom in the back to extend and stretch. A couple more breaths here. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. Breathing through your nostrils if you can. Slowly coming up. Make your way down onto your backs, everyone. Hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. We're going to take some twists, taking your knees over towards the right side, both knees to the right. Reach your left arm out to the left. Bring your chin to your left shoulder. Breathe in through your nose, maybe out through the mouth now. And start to let the body know we're cooling down. It's going to get a good rest in a second. Switching sides, knees to the left side. Bring your chin to your right shoulder and stretch out your right fingertips. Breathe. Just try to soften into it. Bring your knees into your chest. We'll finish with a happy baby. Reach up, grab your feet. Pull your thighs wide and down and back, shoulders back. Just 3 breaths. You can rock it out a little bit side to side. 3, 2, and 1. Release the feet. Stretch out your arms, stretch out your legs. Shavasana, final resting pose. Get comfortable. Relax. Stay present. Stay in the awareness of this moment. Maybe still focusing on the feeling of the breath, the sensation of the practice in your body at this moment. Relax and let go. Stay present. Start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Roll out your wrists and your ankles. Stretch out your arms, stretch out your legs. Take a big breath in, please. Side out, let it go. Bringing your knees into your chest. Give yourself a big squeeze and rock up to seated. Once you're seated, please close your eyes. Bring your hands to your heart. Let's close with 1 Om. Exhale all the way out. Inhale for Om. Redefine what's possible. Expand your consciousness, your awareness of yourself, of the world that we live in. Watch everything grow, everything change. Thank you so much for sharing your practice. Namaste. Great job today, friends. I really appreciate you joining in. It's such an honor and a treat to practice with y'all. If you have questions, comments, requests, anything at all you want to share, reach out to me, stevenarcusyoga.com or steven@stevenarcusyoga.com is my email. I'd love to hear from you, so reach out and connect. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, buddy.
I also recorded